morning to one and all present here. Today, me and my group members are going to represent a small presentation which will tell you about the Right of Information Act in Meghalaya. So, first of all, let us learn something about the Right to Information Act. The Right to Information Act aims to provide for setting out the practical regime of right to information for citizens to secure access to information under the control of public authorities. In order to promote transparency and accountability in the working of every public authority, the Constitution of Central Information Commission and in state information commissions and for matters connected therewith or incidental ratio. The Right to Information Act RTI Act of 2005 was enacted by the Parliament 13 years ago. Yet there is a lack of awareness among masses about how to use it or how to file an RTI application. So now let's throw some light on the RTI cases of Meghalaya. Presenting the first case in front of you all.
Vaibhav Bedi, the petitioner, complained against the X brand of men grooming products for cheating and causing mental suffering. This plaintiff has cited his failure to attract X products for over 7 years now. He argued that if he could not experience the X effect despite using the X products as directed, either the company was making false claims and fake products. He claimed to have done each and everything that company has instructed him to do.
Let's bring the case to
Rajesh Sakre, a tea vendor, faced injustice from the State Bank of India in December 2011. This case was regarding a sum of Rupee 9,200. According to Sakre, he had Rupee 20,000 in his bank account on 23rd December 2011. He had withdrawn a sum of Rupee 10,800. When he returned after 2 days, he found his remaining balance to be zero due to some error committed by the bank, but SBI took no responsibility. Then Sakre went to the SBI headquarters where he didn't get any answer, and then he went to DCDRF. It was a tough fight for Sakre, who had studied only till 5th standard. He didn't accept the defeat, but he stood for what was the truth, and he maintained his stand, and it was his win when the DCDRF on 16th June ordered the largest Bank of India to give him compensation.
now bringing the case 3 in front of you all. Miss Kharshing and her brother John Kharshing found that there was an illegal mining going on in their area, so they went there and clicked some pictures of the illegal mining, but somehow the illegal people got to know about that they are taking pictures and are going to take legal action about it. So they caught them and beated them very badly. Yeah, in Meghalaya's East Jaitanya Hills district attacked RTI and anti-graft activist Agnes Kharshing on Thursday, leaving her in a critical condition. Ms. Kharshing, who is the president of the Shillong-based civil society women's organization, sustained her injuries and was taken to the hospital near Tubar Sohiren, about 120 kilometers from the state capital. After taking lot of actions in filing cases in the courts, police comes to the suspect and arrest them and seize the place where the illegal process was going on.
White Ink Education Scam. 10 years ago, an education scam took place in Meghalaya, which was later named as the White Ink Education Scam. Based on the recommendations from politicians, Education Minister of Meghalaya, Ms. April Lingdo, instructed her officer Mr. J.D. Sangma to manipulate the candidate list for primary teachers. On her instruction, her officer Mr. J.D. Sangma white-inked some successful candidates, their marks, and created a tainted merit list of the primary teachers. It was opened when an RTI was filed by Srimati Agnes Kharshing and some other candidates who felt injustice. Srimati Agnes Kharshing also filed an FIR with regards to manipulation of her and other participants' courts. It took 8 years of long and convoluted struggle from the lowest to highest court, inside and outside the court system, before the division bench of Meghalaya High Court delivered its bombshell judgment on 2nd November 2017 in favor of the absolved.
A consumer court in Chennai has directed Axis Bank to pay a compensation of Rs 5 lakh to Deepika Pallikal, squash champion and Arjuna awardee, for her deficiency in service. The bank was also directed to pay her Rs 5,000 as expenses. The Padma Shri recipient, in a petition filed in 2012, said she had faced humiliation and loss of reputation as a transaction using the bank's debit card at a hotel in the Netherlands, Rotterdam, failed. Though she had a balance of more than 10 times the billed amount in her account, the bank claimed the incident was a case of force majeure, which means a natural and unavoidable catastrophe or an act of God and beyond their controls. Beside a check of Rupees 1 lakh issued by the Government of India as an award to Pallikal was returned to the sportsperson. The bank later blamed it on the technical error. It was then that Pallikal, ranked number 1 in India and 11th in the world, approached the Consumer Redressal Forum seeking compensation of Rupees 10 lakh. This is a victory for the consumers for India. Now, here comes the end of our cases. We would like to thank Shashi Prabha ma'am for giving us the opportunity to present a project like this in front of you all. I hope you all like the presentation which we presented.